Hello, long time no see. Guess what? We're back. I hope you guys had a good holiday. For those of you guys on YouTube, I hope you're well. Guess what? Today we've got a new topic, but of course, we've got to start with a joke. What's a math teacher's favorite instrument? It's the triangle. Yeah. Okay, it's a triangle. Um, Speaking of triangle, what a segue. We are going to talk about triangles today, and in particular, we're going to look at this theorem called Pythagoras Theorem. Right? Pythagoras's theorem. I don't know if you say Pythagoras or Pythagoras's. It's just Pythagoras theorem. Now, all you need to know about Pythagoras's theorem is this old guy, but he found out that there's a formula that relates the sides of right-angled triangles. Okay, now it's important to note here, Pythagoras theorem only really works for right-angled triangles. Now, what is a right-angled triangle, you ask? Well, let's label it. Let's label a right-angled triangle. If your triangle has, see that little square there at the bottom? Let me highlight it for you. That little square there. Now that there is just a little symbol that shows, yep, we've got a 90-degree angle, and we often draw it with a square, so we call it a right-angled triangle. So it just means it's 90 degrees. And we're going to label the three sides. And what we have here is, just take a note here. There's two shorter sides and there's one longer side, right? And that longer side is called the hypotenuse. Now, if you guys did the work yesterday, you would know that the hypotenuse is that side there, is C in that case. Now, the hypotenuse, easy way to do it, it's always going to be opposite of wherever your right angle is, right? So it's the line that doesn't touch your right angle. So here I've got my gap. I've drawn that green line. The furthest line away from it, that has to be your longest side. And we call that a hypotenuse. I don't know why I keep thinking hippopotamus, but it's hypotenuse. And then your two shorter sides, you've got A and B. It doesn't matter, they're interchangeable. So it could be BA, it could be AB. As long as you know, as long as you can pick out the hypotenuse, you will be pretty safe in this topic. So if I was to look at this one here, I've got a quick little example. This triangle here on the right, I'm going to try label it. Now, as the triangles move and shift around and spin, there's always going to be one longer side, and it's not always going to be the one on the right. So in this case here, I'm looking, okay, well, there's my right angle. So the one on the opposite side, that must be my hypotenuse. So I'm going to label it C, or my hypotenuse. And that means the other two sides must be my A and B, and those are my shorter sides. Hopefully that makes sense. That's going to become very useful when we look at Pythagoras's theorem. So I've left a blank box here so I can write it down for you guys, and I'm going to pick a nice blue. So Pythagoras' theorem, it states this. Now I'm going very, very similar to the first two triangles that we did. It looks a little bit like this. They're saying that the squares, the sum of the squares, you know what, let's not use big language. Let's not use big language. If I square the two shorter sides and add them together, right? So if A is the shorter side, so I'm going to square that. B is the shorter side, so I'm going to square that. The square of those should equal the same square as the longest side. Now that's Pythagoras' theorem, right? The two shorter sides, when you square them and you add them together, you should get the square of the longest side, okay? Now, that might be a little bit for you to take in, but just remember, I'm going to write this down. All right, that there is your two shorter sides squared. And then that there is your longer side. In other words, your hypotenuse squared. Right, so when you square your two shorter sides and add them together, you'll get the same thing as the squared of your longer side. Now, for those of you guys that are interested, I'll link a video in the description of a video that kind of shows you how beautifully it all works, and there's like animations and stuff, but I'm going to be real, I don't think most of you guys really care, so I'm going to move on. Okay, so use Pythagoras' theorem to write the relationship of the side length. So I'm going to use Pythagoras' theorem to try actually write these down. Now, I'm going to write it really small up here so you guys can see it. Just remember that a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. And so here I'm going to take a look. The first a squared plus b squared, now we've got different letters for example 1 and example 2, but we're going to try and answer them anyway. So for the first one here, I want to add the two shorter sides. Now, what are the two shorter sides? Q and S, right? Because I know that this one there, R is my hypotenuse. It's my longest side. So that means it's just going to be Q squared plus S squared equals 2. Try it yourself. It's R squared. And that there would be how you write the Pythagoras theorem for this particular triangle. Okay, for example number 2, I'll give you a go. I'll give you about 10 seconds to try figure this out. And while you are figuring out, let me just talk a little bit. So this seems all really weird with all these letters, but what ends up happening is, of course, we actually have real numbers for those, and then you can find whatever length of side you need, you given this formula. Okay, so hopefully you wrote here. Can we see that? See how u is the most furthest away, so that means I know that u is my hypotenuse. So that means the two shorter sides must be t and v. So that means I'm going to write the two shorter sides, add them together, t squared plus v squared equals to u, which is my hypotenuse, squared. And that there should be more than enough for you guys to complete exercise number 2. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.